Hi, this is Lindsay, one of the co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hello and welcome to Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. My name is Brice Burge.
And I'm Ivan Sanchez Carrasco. I'm back. I'm alive. Brice, I missed you.
I missed you too, but I got something for you. I got a surprise. I'm gonna do something we've never done on the show before.
I know, I'm worried.
If we didn't have the computer crash on us multiple times, then we may have been there by this point. But that's kind of where we're at right now, as we're trying to talk about multiple issues in the soccer world. We're sponsored by Squadcast. We're going to see if it works this time. Definitely throwing some shade. My quality here has started to flutter because I think this is the 10th episode in a row where we've had problems with this program. So I'm going to read it anyway, just because Vic's probably going to edit that out. So Your Soccer Passport is sponsored by Squadcast. As podcasters that deal with analysts and guests from around the world, being able to record remotely is key. Current industry standards rely heavily on internet connection, but Squadcast changes that with a simple browser-based tool that requires no additional software to install. The audio is recorded locally as high-quality WAV files, then uploaded to the host computer, allowing solid audio quality. To get started with your remote podcasting recording experience, go to squadcast.fm for your 14-day free trial. All right, let's try this again. Men's friendly, U.S. at England, an absolute disastrous time. Haven't received a beating like that from the British since the War of 1812. It was horrific. Lingard and Alexander-Arnold scored back-to-back in the 25th and 27th minute. Wilson added one later on, and ultimately it was just a disgusting performance by the U.S. men's national team.
They were beat in every facet of the game, and they looked... it was one thing to just get... they got beat on multiple levels, which is the frustrating part. It's one thing to be beat by a better team, but it's another thing to seem like they're not playing for anything or playing with any style or playing with any idea. And this wasn't even England's full team either. This was definitely a friendly in the most friendliest ways for England. They try to send a goodbye to Wayne Rooney, and that was kind of what was the main focus of the game for them. And the fact that the U.S. couldn't even muster up anything from playing an England team that wasn't even fully invested in this match is, I think, the most frustrating thing if you're a U.S. fan. And the fact that these young guys just kind of wilted in this environment and in this setting, I think, is the most frustrating thing. And there's a lot of frustration with the national team, and it's kind of trickled down from the federation to everything to not making the World Cup. And then, you have this game where they just were horrendous in every level, and it's just, I don't know. I'm trying to find the light here, Brice. Give me some light.
You know that I'm a negative guy. I'm the guy that comes out here and brings out all the negatives. So putting me on the spot to try to find positives is not the best way. I mean, when you're looking at a team like this, you're supposed to be getting a bunch of international experience for your younger players. That's fine. But I don't know if it was the pageantry of the Wayne Rooney send-off or if it was just the fact that there's such a lack of organization and clear-cut goals for the future for the U.S. men's national team. But these players, when they got on the stage, they didn't look like they knew what they were doing. They were completely overwhelmed by the experience of suiting up against England, who is fresh off of a World Cup semifinal loss, a devastating one at that. So, I mean, you've got these guys that they're kids. They're kids out there, and there's no leadership in that regard. And so I remember after the game was over, they asked Pulisic if they thought that he should have went back on the first goal, and he turns to the reporter and goes, You think I should have done that?" And everybody started praising about how great it was that he was upset, because it showed that he cared. Him caring has never been the question. He's always cared. He doesn't know what to do to up his game at an international level for his home country, because there's been such a lack of vision between Klinsmann going out there and just hack and slash with basically foreign-born and bred players that just kind of apply for the United States in different regards. We saw, that worked out for Aaron Johansson. We've got a terrible situation with Bruce Arena that came in and botched literally the easiest job in holding the ball type scenarios, and he dropped that before the World Cup, losing Trinidad and Tobago. I'm tired of it, and I can only imagine that he is also tired of it. We should not be excited about all these pundits getting excited about Pulisic being angry. It's annoying, and it's something that just doesn't make any sense to say, hey, your guy going into the future right now is ticked off.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is there's no guidance for these young guys. I think that's the biggest problem. Ernie Stewart's been on the job for 4 months. They haven't had a full-time coach over the year. And they talk about all this young talent, all this stuff. But if there's no guidance or no idea of what to do with this young talent, it's just going to be wasted. And you see that with international teams all the time. But if there's not a focus or an idea on how to kind of guide these young guys, it's going to be wasted. And you're kind of seeing that right now. We can't touch on the fact that it looks like it will be Bellhopper who will take over the national. That's what it looks like. But even then, we still don't know if it is, and there's still no idea of where this federation is going from the top down, and it's, I don't know, just frustrating. And I'm frustrated, and I mostly cheer for Mexico, and it's and I'm so frustrated by watching what the U.S. is doing. It's how are you guys just getting in your own way all the time? It's just ridiculous, and now it's trickled down all the way to the players where there's no sense of guidance. And I think that's the biggest takeaway from this is now you're starting to see it on the field, that there is no guidance for these young guys.
You talked about trying to find a light. I think there is one moment where I have to talk about, a positive scenario. Dave Sarachin, as this interim head coach, has the support of the leadership on this team. It isn't necessarily just one person. This is a systemic issue for the men's national team, whether it's their losses here or failure to make the World Cup or whatever. It's systemic issues over a long amount of time, and it's not one person's spot. But if there's one guy that has been doing a good job, it has been Dave Sarachin, to sit there and say, you want to get youth players experience? Fine. I'll give youth players experience, and we'll go out and lose 3-0. Fine, I'll give youth players experience, and we'll go out there and we'll look like an idiot, and we'll be continually flustered as we don't have a head coach because we got to wait till the MLS season's over. He has done everything that has been asked of him almost so well that he looks incompetent just because of some of the stupid things that he's been asked to do.
Yeah, he's been definitely put in a tough spot too, because they've essentially said, you're not getting the job. We're not considering you at all. And he has been a trooper in this regard, and he's been giving young guys the opportunity. And yeah, it's almost to a fault. And you almost feel bad for him at this point. Cause
I do feel bad for him. I do feel bad. But that's the thing, though, is that he's doing his job.
he's chasing the girl that's not going to go out with him, and he keeps chasing her while she waits for the guy she's going to marry to come around, and he's just there. Like, yeah, you do feel bad for him. You feel bad for the players as well because there's definitely now seems to not be a sense of an idea of what they're doing, and yeah, I mean, luckily for him, the nightmare is almost over in a couple. Looks like it's gonna be over in a couple weeks. Looks like, but yeah, for him, he's been a trooper, so he definitely deserves a raise or at least a beer because what he's had to do those last year has to be frustrating for him, not even being considered for the job full time, and he's been out there doing the best he can to what he's been given.
I gotta appreciate it. So that's my like moment of light, thankfulness. Before we go on to another situation that's honestly not as bad, but isn't very good lately. Mexico's first leg of their essential home and home friendly against Argentina did not end up very well. Funes scored in the 44th minute before. I can't read my notes in the dark. Before an own goal in the 83rd minute left a 2-0 advantage for Argentina over Mexico. I was not able to see this game. I just had the stat line. It looked like typical Mexico over possession in like the middle third, trying to find a good counterattack and not get really anything going. And the lack of creativity up top seems to struggle with Mexico once again.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if I was frustrated with the U.S., this Mexico and what's been going on since the World Cup is just frustration too. I've never been so disinterested in a Mexico friendly or in a Mexico game, and I don't know how long. And I think that's the most bothersome part too. When we talk about no direction or anything like that, they're playing these 2 games away in Argentina, which should be a time for them to learn and grow. But these games don't even matter to Argentina. They're more focused and they care more about the 2 legs of the Copa Libertadores than they do these friendlies. And you have these 2 teams who don't have managers. You have these 2 teams who don't have full-time coaches. And it's so frustrating that they're letting this great opportunity to go to Argentina, play a good quality team, go to waste because speaking about a federation that doesn't have any guidance right now, Mexico's not as bad a situation as the U.S., but it's also kind of in this flux, and it just seems like a wasted opportunity. And I'm just so freaking tired of not having a coach from Mexico. These guys, like what it looks like they might have. It looks like they're going to finally have a coach in Tata Martinez. It looks like that's kind of what's been said, and we can get to that later too, and what came from that. But this team lacks such a creative idea up top. If Raul Jimenez or Lozano aren't playing, this team can't create and can't break down players or can't break down defenses. And there's a lack of depth up top for Mexico, and there's a lack of leadership right now because Tuca Ferretti refuses to call up the kind of the squad players have been the base for Mexico the last couple of years with Guardado, with Herrera, with Chicharito. These guys aren't being called up, and these guys just don't have any direction. There's potential there, but there's no one to kind of reel them in and be that leader right now for Mexico, and it's frustrating. And yeah, I'm pulling my hair. I don't even want to see what's going to happen Tuesday because they do it again on Tuesday. They're playing Argentina again on Tuesday, and it's just, well, great. What's going to happen there? Another friendly where you can't take anything. You can't take anything from it. I don't know. That's my rant.
No, it's understanding. You can't take you can't take anything from it. That's what's so frustrating about it. And so, what are you really supposed to do besides just sit back there and enjoy it? But you're not enjoying
Argentina doesn't even care about these friendlies. They don't care at all about these friendlies. They care more about the Copa Libertadores finals, which they should. It's wrapped around the whole country.
I do too.
These friendlies.
I do too. Everybody does. Not a single person in the world besides maybe the hardcore supporters actually in Mexico right now, or like in the United States, that's also for Mexico, care about these friendlies. And it's it's very debatable. I mean, that's one of the reasons why they have the League of Nations during the friendly period in Europe, is so that way you were forced to care. You were forced to care about these kind of things, and now you don't, because Mexico is still up in the air. We know the Atlanta head coach is going to go down there. We know Tata is going to the men's national team in Mexico. That's fine. I read somewhere, I think it was goal.com, that talked about how it was the world's worst kept soccer secret that he was going to be. It is a great hire. But it's just another candidate that wasn't identified or interviewed by the United States when it came to their coaching search. Or
how do you let Tata Martinez
coaching search in massive air quotes, because we all know that was not a thing.
If you're U.S. Soccer, how do you let Tata Martinez, who's in your country, slip through the cracks, and you let Mexico get a hold of him? Like, are you serious? If you're a U.S. fan,
and
oh
yeah,
if you're a U.S. fan, you have to be so frustrated that looks like they're gonna settle for the Columbus Crew coach when Berhalter, when the best coach in the league is leaving to Mexico. Like, how are you have to be pulling your hair for that. And this is the craziest thing about Mexican fans. There's some Mexican fans who don't even like the idea of Tata Martinez being the coach, because they said he's failed. He didn't win anything in Barcelona. He didn't win anything with Argentina, and he struggles with big teams. Mexico fans, don't worry. Mexico is not a big team. We are average, so he's going to do fine. Okay? He's going to do fine for Mexico, because Mexico's not a big team. We are, factually, the last 25 years, we are between 9th and 16th in the world, and that's been proven every World Cup. So don't worry. Tata Martinez knows how to make the best out of average teams. So Mexico will be fine in that regard. He took Paraguay to the quarterfinals in 2010. He lost 2 Copa America finals with Argentina. Mexico's not that good. Mexico's not Argentina. We will be fine. He will do fine as the Mexico head coach. So to all the Mexican fans who don't like the idea that Tata Martinez didn't win anything with Barcelona or didn't win anything with Argentina, and that he can't do it with big teams, don't worry. Mexico's not a big team. We are average. And right now we are very average.
Okay, let's swap this out just for a hot second, because nobody cares about the next game. Let's be completely honest. We're talking about things because we have U.S. and Mexican ties. Many of the people that listen to the podcast have U.S. and Mexican ties, so we talk about those things. But U.S. plays Italy next. Mexico plays again against Argentina. Nobody cares. We may or may not cover that next time around. Hopefully, we will have other things to cover about instead that are worth more of the time. Actually, by that time, by next show, because we're going to go to worldwide headlines next. We're just kind of focusing on a shorter show this week with the holidays. We'll probably talk about the U17 Women's World Cup that's going on right now. And you'll get an update in that World Headline segment next. And then afterwards, we will have the giant surprise for Yvonne, because it's about that time. You're listening to Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. Time now for Worldwide Headlines here on Your Soccer Passport, a segment touching on some of the other big news from around the soccer world. The Women's U17 World Cup finalizes group stage today in Uruguay. Ghana, New Zealand, and Canada have solidified their spots in the knockout round, while Spain has a 7-goal differential advantage over Colombia. But groups B and C are still wide open. Mexico and Japan both have 4 points, but they play each other, so both teams can get through with a draw. In the group of death, Group C, each team has 3 points. Germany plays the United States, and North Korea faces Cameroon. Quarterfinals begin Saturday, November 24th. Teams are starting to punch their ticket for the African Cup of Nations. Algeria won their way in with a 4-1 victory over Togo. Guinea got in after a Rwanda and Central African Republic draw, and Mauritania made their first Cup of Nations ever with a come-from-behind win against Botswana. Egypt, Madagascar, Mali, Morocco, Nigeria, Senegal, Tunisia, and Uganda have already qualified. The remaining spots will be clinched in March. And Chris Gunter will be making his team record 93rd appearance for Wales in their match against Albania, but it isn't the record that has people talking. Multiple reports of the record were made because Gunter is asking teammate Gareth Bale to fly his family to watch the game on Bale's private plane. Today's worldwide headlines are brought to you by the Public House Media, celebrating their jump to a new merchandise promoter, that is TeePublic. The best way to promote your soccer passport and any other PHM shows is with t-shirts, mugs, wall art, and more, all available in the TeePublic shop. Visit teepublic.com/pubhousemedia. That's teepublic.com. Welcome back to Your Soccer Passport. I'm Brice Burge, Ivan Sanchez Carrasco 2. Follow us on Twitter at Ivan Sanchez C90 and at that Brice Burge, Brice with an I. All right, so Ivan was out sick last week, and it left us scrambling. It also left me monologuing for most of the show, so I apologize for that. I don't like doing that when I don't have to. But to make up for it...
I was also scrambling for the record last week, too, just in a different way.
Okay, that would fall under the too much information category. So again, we'll see if that gets edited out too. I feel like this is going to be a busy show for our editor Vic. We appreciate you. So this segment is going to be an either or segment. I'm going to pose two things to Ivan, and he has to choose which one he likes, dislikes, thinks is worse, whatever. Depends on which either or scenario I am posing. You've seen this on other shows multiple times, and now you will listen to it here on this Your Soccer Passport podcast. We will start off with the MLS playoff bracket, because we didn't get your opinion on things last week. So I want to know, what is your opinion on the Eastern Conference Finals? Do you like that the two Titans of the East in New York Red Bulls and Atlanta United made it to the finals, or did you want to see one of the Cinderella stories like DC or Columbus make it instead?
I think it's good that they're in the finals because they've been the two best teams overall in the MLS, and so it feels natural they should play each other. And I would feel kind of like something would have been missing if one of the two were out, but instead you're going to have these two Titanic teams. I guess I'm a little disappointed that Columbus Crew didn't make it through, only for the fact that if Portland and Columbus made it, you'd have a rematch from 3 years ago, and Portland would host it. So that's only selfishly why the Columbus Crew, I'm disappointed they're out. But I think for the MLS, it's good to have, you got the New York market, you have Atlanta and everything they've been going on, how well they've been doing, and we've talked about how great Tata's been for them too. So it feels right that they're going to face each other. And give me Atlanta for 300, please. I'll take them in the finals.
Okay. All right. What was a dumber comment? The reporter asking Pulisic if he should have went backwards on that first goal, or Don Garmer pretty much confirming that Tata Martinez is going to the men's national team at that press conference?
Oh, you go, Dan. I mean, not only did he say that, he also said that if Tata Martinez, he might not have been considered for the Mexico job if he wasn't coaching at Atlanta. He coached Barcelona, for God's sake. Are you kidding me? What a dumb comment. Like, the arrogance he had to think like, oh, if Martinez wouldn't have been coaching Atlanta, they might have not considered him for the Mexico job. What? I mean, yeah, that takes the cake. The other guy.
To be fair, it does fix the "what have you done for me lately" aspect of Martinez's resume that was severely lacking. But
Yeah.
it was still a dumb comment, and that press conference continued to get dumber too, as he basically kind of confirmed that the U.S. men's national team coach was going to be coming out of the MLS guaranteed, pretty much as well. So like,
Yeah, he just
know,
spilled all the tea. He spilled all the tea. That like, oh yeah, and then I mean the other guy, the reporter's doing his job. He's got to ask the question. You know, he probably saw something like, well, you didn't track back. Why didn't you track back? So I mean, in that regard, it's not the worst of not that bad of a question. I mean, he's asking it, and Pulisic responded in the moment, kind of frustrated after 2 hours of just getting smoked by England up and down. So I think that regard is just not as bad because the guys are trying to do his job. And I mean, but yeah, give me Dan. That was, yeah. I mean, in so many levels, that just, I mean, and you saw the reaction afterwards from like everybody. If you're on Twitter reading these comments, everyone's like, "What are you like? Who do you think you are?" Like laughable, like professionals, like laughing at his comments that he made because they were, I mean, yeah, stupid.
I have soccer. I have friends that don't like soccer that specifically came up to me and just said, "What is this guy talking about?" Like
Yeah.
all the thing, like they would show me the article and they were just like, "What does all this mean? Like, is this what I think that it means?" And it's like, yeah, the guy's an idiot. Like,
Yeah.
I haven't had that. The last time that I think I've seen a press conference go that awry, I think was right after the Arena Bowl 2 years ago when Ron Jarowski said that his star quarterback played the entire second half with a torn MCL. And I'm like, why are you releasing that information while like covered in confetti and the guy is like jumping up and down behind you in celebration? Like, that's not what it, no, knock it off.
Yeah.
That's some of the dumbest things I've heard in a long time. I'm glad that you agree.
This kind of reminds me of like I believe it was a Northwestern basketball coach who said one of his players was like in the back for a concussion or something, and then the player's like, they asked the player about it, he goes, "No, I'm fine." That's about like as close as I can to get something that's happened recently where something the blasphemy of like to say something like that or just the stupidity of it. So yeah, good job, Dan.
Okay, let's continue on with some stupid things. Are you opposed or are you in favor of using rock, paper, scissors to decide the kickoff of a soccer game?
Pro. I'm down for that.
You're down for that. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, the English Football Association is not. They suspended a referee after he used an impromptu game of rock, paper, scissors to decide the kickoff of a recent Women's Super League match for 21 days.
Wow. Oh, okay. Well, actually, we were playing a futsal tournament a couple weeks ago, and the other team and us were deciding who has to wear the away jersey because we both had similar colors, and that's how we decided. We did rock, paper, scissors, and so yeah, I'm always down for a game of rock, paper, scissors to decide things like that. And so yeah, I just and we were not suspended, so it went great. But I mean,
yeah. Well, this is also the Women's Super League, Manchester City and Reading, which is two really good teams in the Women's Super League. They're starting to get more legitimate. I would say
probably can't do that.
Yeah, it would almost be kind of like if we were in Spain and we were talking about like the MLS doing rock, paper, scissors instead of a coin flip.
Yeah, you need the legitimacy. So yeah, that's fair then. I mean, who doesn't have a coin though? You can't ask like somebody in the stands for a quarter or.
Well, I think that's what they wanted him to do. You know, like somebody go get a loony, but like, yeah, but David McNamara, which was the official, and then the two assistant referees, the flagmen, were also suspended for 21 days beginning on November 26th after he accepted the disciplinary charge of not acting in the best interests of the game. And I'm like, all right, okay. So
21 days is a lot, though.
21 days is a lot for playing rock, paper, scissors. I mean, that's a week per thing. That's a week per option. So rock, all right, week. Paper, 2 weeks. Scissors, you're done. 3 weeks, you're out. All right, let's move on to something a little bit more legitimate here. Rumors is that David Degas is not happy and not wanting to sign another long-term contract in Manchester United, which means that Man U is looking for a new number one goaltender. Their eyes are currently on Jordan Pickford. He's the number one goaltender for the English national team. He's a former Everton star. Looks like it's going to be about 60 mil for him to be brought in. Who would you rather have? Would you rather have Pickford or would you rather have Degas?
Oh, I take De Gea, but Pickford's been fantastic for England in last cup. Like he had a great World Cup, but I'm still going De Gea. De Gea's one of the few, probably top 3-4 goalkeepers in the world, and those don't come around very often. And he's been the best player for United. You can probably say the last 5 years. He's been their most consistent. He saved them numerous times. I guess the only thing for him is like there wouldn't be a lot of options if he wasn't happy at United to go to at this point. I think that'd be the one thing. But Pickford's also great. Pickford's awesome, and he looks super English. That is the most English looking dude I've seen in a while.
Yay, stereotypes. More things that will probably be edited.
Oh, no, it's not that bad.
We'll actually put that as the show, the title of the show this week. More things that should be edited.
All right, but give me De Gea, but Pickford's a good pick if you're going to leave, and it's a good step up for him from going from Everton to United. So bigger club, a little more responsibility. So yeah, interesting. What else you got for me?
All right, last one. Who would win in a race, Paul Pogba or a tortoise?
Pogba, but are you saying because why you gotta do that? What you got against Paul? What you got against Pogba, man?
Did you not see his Instagram account?
No.
Okay, so Paul Pogba actually went out there and raced the tortoise. So to give some extra background to this, Pogba in preparing for a penalty took 28 steps over 10 seconds to approach a penalty kick against Everton. It sparked a worldwide trending hashtag of things you can do during Pogba penalty run-ups. And to make fun of it, he actually took 28 steps against like a standing tortoise. The tortoise had absolutely no idea what was going on. That poor tortoise. But like Pogba went up against it and like just said like, "Yeah, I am faster than a tortoise."
Good on Pogba. I like Pogba. That's good. I do have this to say about PKs though. Nothing as a goalkeeper fear gets me more like nothing stupider than like run ups to PKs. You are 12 yards out. Just hit the ball where you want it. If you hit it where you want it with cleanly, you're gonna make the PK. You don't have. I hate all these little stutter steps and run ups. They already have all the advantages. Why do you need to like stutter step or like dance on the way? Just go up there and kick the freaking ball. Like the goalkeeper's already already at disadvantage to begin with. You don't need to stutter step your way to it. Go up there and kick it, and then if you miss it, well, bad on you. You have every advantage. That's my PK rant.
It's okay. It's all right.
Yeah,
it's one of the things about popping up with a random segment that we've never done before. This is a good guinea pig type scenario. So, what were your thoughts on this? Did you like it?
Oh, I did like it. It was good, especially because you did not tell me anything beforehand, so you guys got the live reactions to it. So I enjoyed it.
Okay, good. If I ever miss a show, you can do this to me. So
all right, sounds good.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna try.
It wasn't punishment. I didn't find it as punishment. I found it good.
No, it was more in jest than anything else. I'm glad that you're not sick anymore. So
yeah, me too.
Also, let's see. As I pull this up, we have a special announcement to make. I just want to make sure that I'm getting all of the information correct here, as there is a birth announcement that we have to make. Baxter Colburn and his wife have announced that Rio Voss Colburn has been born on 11/17. at 5:48 p.m. 7 pounds, 15 ounces, 21 and a quarter inches long. Both the baby and the mother are healthy and happy. Well, as happy as you can be after giving birth, because that's not an experience that I would ever want to go through. So we're happy and we're thankful for them, and just the Colburn family as a whole. Keep rocking it out. You guys are like relationship goals, hashtag to the extreme. So congratulations from us here at Your Soccer Passport, which I guess includes you because you were on the show and kind of helped make it all work during the World Cup edition. So way to go, Baxter.
Yeah, good job, Baxter.
So we will we'll wrap up this show. We'll have a shorter one, holiday week. Everybody's got things going on. But real fast, do you have anything that you're essentially thankful for?
Friends, family, the usual thing. Thankful for you. We keep rocking this. We get frustrated at times, but it's been good. Thanks to our millions and millions of listeners. Except for those in Seattle. I wasn't here last week, so I didn't get to say, boom, Seattle, you're out. Portland's still in it. But yeah, I'm thankful for that too.
All right. Well, I'm thankful for the show. I'm thankful for the opportunities. A lot of bad things have happened in life over the last couple of years, and to get a chance to kind of come back into sports journalism in any format has been big, and so these podcasts have been really good, and I've been thankful for that. Also, my family's coming up, and this is the first time that all 5 of us, both siblings and both parents, have been together for a holiday since 2011. So
Nice.
this is a big one. So I'm actually going to go buy the turkey after this is over. So
nice.
Yeah, pretty pumped. So if you are thankful for anything, thankful for the show, let us know on by listening. Your Soccer Passport is available on Spotify, iTunes, Spreaker, and wherever your favorite podcasts are found. I'm Brice Burge.
I'm Ivan Sanchez Carrasco. Shout out. I left you guys waiting. Corvallis High School, 5A state champions, won in overtime. Old alma mater. A couple of guys I coached with, coaching the team now. So shout out to them for winning. And shout out to the Crescent Valley girls team for also winning the 5A state championship. The other school in Corvallis. Blake Leamy, their head coach, I've known since I was like 7. Coached my brother from when he was 10 till 18. Has a couple of state championships himself, a couple of club state championships. So shout out to them. And yeah, shout out to everybody. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. You've been listening to Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media.